I would rather be single than in the wrong relationship. And I think so many times people are afraid of getting out of that wrong relationship of being single. And I'm such a better person single than I was in all those past relationships.
You have to be selective. I think I'm at a point, and I have been for a while, where I know what I'm about. I know what I have to offer. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And so I'm selective. I'm picky. I have a certain level of expectations because of how much I value myself and my time. Like, I love spending time with myself. I genuinely love myself. I do. I'm proud of who I am. So I think for someone to come into my life, and if I'm going to make a commitment to somebody, they're kind of competing with that in a way.
Yeah.
Yay.
Welcome back to Straight Candid Podcast
With Syd
and Soph, where we take pride in normalizing taboo conversations, saying the wrong thing, drinking too much caffeine, and talking too fast.
Here at Straight Candid, we live unfiltered. No edits, deletes, or drag and drops. Just two Minneapolis girls who hit record and keep it candid.
Let's get into it.
I'm a boss ass bitch, 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 bitch. I'm a boss ass bitch.
That was your
twerk.
Syd, remember we
What?
played that game with, we actually played it with Emerson, Felicia, and Yana, and it was the little, what was it called? It was the app on your phone, and
we
it
were
said
playing a game.
and it said what was Syd's song, and I put Boss Bitch.
You did, and I picked it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Wait,
But-
that makes total sense
but-
too with who we're having on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that you picked that for the little intro.
I'm a boss ass bitch,
Because
bitch.
we having some boss bitches on the
Oh,
podcast
yeah,
today.
baby. Boss bitches. One's an entrepreneur. One's climbing a corporate ladder like a boss ass motherfucking biatch. We got some good stuff coming for
We
you
do.
guys. Just
We
get
do.
ready. Saddle up, cowboy. It's
Well,
time to put that cowboy hat on.
We will introduce them in just a second,
Scary.
obviously. But first, Straight Candid moments.
Can you lead today?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
But
I want to
first-
listen. I'm in the mood to listen to you.
Mine's not that long. So, by the way, Straight Candid moments is, if this is your first time listening, it's just a moment that makes you more human. We like to be real in this podcast. The point of it is being candid. Obviously, you've heard from the intro.
Yes.
But I just like to reiterate what Straight Candid moment is.
There might be new people here.
Exactly.
And
We
if
got-
you're new, I'm Syd.
I'm Soph.
And
Welcome.
Oh.
Welcome in. So my Straight Candid moment this week is, so obviously the pandemic, we're back to the masks.
Yep,
everywhere. We're back to wearing masks in the Red Room at Barry's. We're back to going to the gym I lift at with masks.
Yep.
And Minneapolis. Yep. I also think it's kind of cool to bring this up. So when we listen back in like 5 years and we're like, we were in the middle of the pandemic. We were
I
wearing
thought about that.
masks. And our key holders right by our doors are full of masks. Like, it's just an image you'll never forget.
We
you
kind
know?
of have a time capsule.
We do.
With that we capture, which
Mhm.
is kind of cool.
It's
Every single
crazy.
week. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Side note. But,
Side note.
So I was working out. This was probably, I think maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I was doing legs at the
Mhm.
gym, lifting. And this is when I kind of had the little bit of a cold. Remember the podcast where
Oh,
I was
yeah.
struggling to talk, clogged nose? I don't know what got into me. All of a sudden, I knew I had to blow my nose.
Okay.
And I'm wearing a mask, little cloth one. I just like wasn't thinking. I was at a rest
No,
period. I was like
no,
dying. I
no.
blew snotty ass nose.
No, you didn't.
Snotty ass nose right
No, you
into my
didn't.
mask. And right after I did it, I was like,
I'm nauseous.
I literally like stare at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what the fuck
Why
did I just do that?
were you after like a heavy set or something?
Yeah, I was like
because
literally
sometimes
like,
you get up and you're like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna pass out a little bit. Like
I wasn't thinking and I just blew it right. And it wasn't like, oh, just a little booger. It was like,
you're so nasty.
it came from my brain.
Oh, she nasty.
You know? It came from my brain. And I
Ooh.
sat there and I was like, oh, what the fuck? So I quick went to the
Oh.
bathroom, but like I didn't have another mask, wiped it out, continued the workout.
No, you didn't.
Yep. So just fun little Straight Candid moment where you just
We're-
don't think and
we're
just do it.
We're just humanizing people here, you guys. That's
Humanizing.
one crazy act at a time, okay?
Humanizing the
I had my hand back here, so I was like, I started just like out of like instinct scratching your back. I go, my hand back here. Hi. Remember that one episode when I started caressing your back?
Yes.
Just randomly? I don't know.
Actually-
We looked back at the episode.
Syd, I watched our last episode
Okay.
on YouTube.
Oh no.
So once I knew Marcus did something different with the coloring. I noticed. Nice job. It
I
was
noticed that
beautiful.
too in the photos. Badass.
Um,
Marcus badass.
So I was like kind of taking a peek on the YouTube,
Okay.
and it is really funny to watch our YouTube because people that listen, like they don't really know what we're doing behind the scenes.
With our mannerisms.
Like I forget that I plug my computer in the middle and I'm like tripping over cords. And the amount of times that you touch me a lot.
Do I?
The way you use your hands when you talk, it's so Syd. Like I can't even.
Oh my God.
Like if you were lined up in a group of people and everyone looked the exact same and everyone had their own mannerisms, I could pick you out.
You could not.
Yes.
Really? Oh, I'm kind of nervous. Now I have to go watch.
But yeah, you'll touch me.
I know I will. I'll go like this or I'll look at you or
Yeah.
I'll grab your arm. I know I do that.
But we use that as body language too. Like, Sophie, get ready to shut the fuck up. I have something important to say. So I like this.
It's like a here I'm coming in to like say something.
And we're working on that.
We are, and we're doing better. We are better than we were. We are.
We both leave some space. Speaking of space, your turn.
Okay. But before I say anything, Marcus looks badass right now. He's wearing a chain. I just had to point that out. We had to talk about that because he's got his waffle shirt on. He's got a chain. You look fresh as hell, Marcus. I'm not going to lie.
So,
and he's got a little Versace glasses on. Oh,
he walks
killing it.
He walks in. I hadn't really like looked at him yet.
I know.
And I go, Marcus, is that a chain? He's like, yeah.
He goes, yeah. And we're like, okay.
So,
all right.
Jordy's gone this week, which is usually, the man behind the camera. But we love Marcus because he does all of our social clips that you guys see. So we love our man, Marcus. But he's here today and we love having him. Okay, straight kind of moment.
Okay. I would say I don't necessarily have one this week, but I just have to speak real with you guys because majority of my day is just me thinking about random thoughts. Okay. So I thought I would take one day and I'm going to write down all the random thoughts that I had go through my mind. And I'm going to share them because this is what I think about from the day-to-day basis. And this is ADHD mind to the max. Okay. Here we go. Number one.
She loves lists.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Why did we watch this as a small child? I put that on our story. Literally, what the hell? You can comment on this shit because think about it. That's a weird ass show.
Can I be honest with you?
What?
I saw that and I didn't get it because I don't think I watched it.
You didn't watch that? Did you watch Courage the I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
For us or for yourself?
For myself. I'm embarrassed. It was on Cartoon Network. My mom was really busy. I watched a lot of TV.
I watched Cat Dog.
Oh, Cat Dog. That was my favorite show.
Hey Arnold.
No, I loved Hey Arnold.
What was the other one with Recess? Like the Recess?
No,
one?
Rugrats.
Yes.
Yeah, the babies. There was also, okay, we won't lie, like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Like, that was really good.
That was Disney though.
iCarly was really good in the beginning, then it got kind of crappy in my opinion.
That's so Raven. It's the future I can see.
Watch this.
I love how we were going to make this intro really fast. All of a sudden we're talking about Cartoon Network and that's a Raven.
People who, the nostalgia in talking about these shows is huge.
So right.
Also, I have to say, I can really mimic the guy that says the vision part about Ray. Ready?
Okay.
Or about Raven. Yo, Ray, did you just have a vision? And then this is what Raven does. I think I just had a vision. And you're like, oh, no shit. Yeah.
No.
You looked crazy.
You did her head nod wrong.
Did I?
It's this. No, it's this.
Oh, yeah. It's way more dramatic. Oh, you
sorry,
got
if
that.
you're not on YouTube, you can't see that.
Sorry, everybody. Back to the list. Anyway, as I look out to Jordan and his giant glass of wine and he's showing his nipple. Okay.
Yes. Show
Anywho,
it, Jordy.
I love being home. Number 2 was Omegle and chat roulette.
This is your thoughts still.
These are my thoughts still of my day. Did you use either of those?
Omegle. This is
Did
also
you go on Omegle or chat roulette?
That was the first time I saw a penis.
Yeah, exactly. My thought process right on here on my list today, right around lunch. 3. Okay, this is a story that I meant to tell last week, and this was technically going to be my Straight Candid moment. I'm just going to leave it with you at this, okay? There was a group of 4 people that we saw come into the bar, and by this point, it's probably like 1 a.m. You know, people are getting like a little crazy. It's Scottsdale. We're having a blast.
Nothing
it's
good
El Jefe.
happens past midnight.
I should have gone home, but we weren't home. We were there. And so here we are. I'm kind of standing at the bar. I'm probably like, I'm kind of drunk, and I'm not really, when you're just like kind of catch yourself in a daze at the bar. Yeah, you don't really have anyone to talk to. They're talking to somebody else.
Time to leave.
Exactly. But I was staring at people, but it wasn't because I was just kind of bored. So anyway, I'm standing there and they look over and they're all dressed kind of like they're going to go to church. Like, and I only point this out because you're not going to believe what happens. Okay.
What do you mean? Like a floral dress?
No.
Like a sundress?
A skirt that was like made out of cloth and then like a very high turtleneck and then like the tights and then the flat shoes that are like
Mormon?
Kind of.
Okay.
I don't know the vibe, but they all were dressed the exact same and there was 4 of them. Okay. And all of a sudden I'm looking and I'm staring off in the distance, like looking at them. I'm just like, observing. They all start making out together as a 4.
Oh.
as a 4.
Oh.
So like you're not seeing 2 and 2. I'm literally looking at 4 people going,
wait, so like we're
in a
all
4,
we're
all
all
of them.
4 lips together?
All 4 lips were together. And then one would lean out and like kind of smile and then lean back in, and one would lean out and kind of smile. And I was like, am I seeing this? And I was like, wait a minute, what did I just see? And then the 2 of them would go and start making out with each other and like touching up on all each other. And then they'd smile and wink at each other. And then the one would go find another person and like bring them over. And it was literally like they were all like a couple. I've just never seen that dynamic at a bar before in my entire life.
I was just going to say, like, it kind of makes sense if it was maybe like a couple and a couple. They're like, let's all get nasty tonight.
It wasn't. It was not a couple and a couple. It was 4 women, and they were not couples. I could tell because they were
women.
Yes, I probably should have included that. That's why I meant when they were all dressed the same. They were all dressed in like skirts, tights,
that's so
flat shoes.
interesting.
Not that points anything out, but it was very conservative dressing. And so I literally couldn't believe what I was saying. And I'll just tell you this one part, and then I'll finish this out because I was wowed, and I couldn't believe I didn't bring it up on the podcast. This girl goes after making out with her, 4 friends, and then her one friend, my hand.
This is
4
the mannerisms
I know.
I'm talking about.
Rolling my wrists like that's gonna make the point better and stronger. God Christ. She makes out with her 4 friends, then she makes out with one specific girl and friend, whatever. And then she goes and sits up on the bar and hikes her skirt up and makes eye contact with a guy and goes starts rubbing herself. I'm watching. I'm just a bystander. I didn't even buy a ticket. It's literally, I'm just like, what is going on? I've never seen anything like that. And then she'd pull, kind of bring them in, make out with them, and then bring them to the group. And then they would all make out. And now it's 5. It was just bonkers. And I sat there. I had a good 20-minute, like total, like just observing.
You're like, I don't need to talk to him right now. I'm enjoying
One guy
this.
was like, so, hey, what's going on? And I just looked the other way. I go, can you hold on one second? I'm looking at something. I literally told him that. So anyway, those are my random thoughts, random stories that I've seen. And I just had to share them because I couldn't believe I didn't bring them up. But when you just see something and you've never seen anything like it before, you just got to tell somebody. That's like how I feel. And I hadn't told anyone.
I'm glad you shared because I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, I've definitely seen like girls making out before, but the fact that they were dressed that way too. I'm just concerned.
I don't know. And nothing against what they were doing.
No.
I just didn't really know what was going on.
Oh, there we go.
Anyway,
thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Okay, I just had to invite you guys into my ADHD brain for 2 seconds, but we have had a ton.
We're like 60 minutes. Here we are.
Literally. Hi
guys.
Hi, we're back. We have had a ton of people write in amazing, nice, kind, like reviews on Straight Candid, and we just wanted to take a second and say thank you so much. Like, it makes all the difference for us and like how we're rated, and if people like we pop up on people's feeds and things like that. So like we appreciate it more than you have any idea.
And that's how we continue this podcast. So by a ton of reviews, she means like we could still get more, right?
But there's still gonna be more.
Yeah. Apple Podcasts, give us a review of 5 stars,
please. And
anywho,
thanks.
I'm gonna read. We'll read 2 today. I'll read one. I'll hand one to you.
Okay.
So this one says, this is a 10 out of 10, my favorite podcast ever. I have never listened to something more relatable in my life. My boyfriend and I have FaceTime calls talking about our favorite things from each episode.
What?
And honestly, he loves the pod just as much as I do. Listening to this podcast is my new favorite pastime, and I find myself making excuses to go driving in my car just so I can sit and listen to these girls. Thursdays have become my new favorite day.
I could like cry.
How
I
cute
get
is that?
teary-eyed when I read stuff.
I read that one.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this one says 11 out of 10 podcasts. Go listen to my friend's podcast. Not only is it brilliant, but it's very relatable in many life adversities. They keep it real, raw, and mostly importantly, they focus on everyday reality. They're thriving, but they're human and deal with daily obstacles just like the next person, I think they meant. Only difference is they don't lie about it. Keep on keeping on it, ladies. We love you. Just cute as hell. I wonder whose friend that is.
I know her.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
She's from my hometown. She's a sweetie.
That's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that made my morning. I'm
Right?
like, or night. What morning? That's like dark outside. I think the ring light throws me off. I'm like, it's so bright in here. I'm like, holy crap. No, but we have some pretty freaking amazing women coming on today, and we're trying to mix in different backgrounds and different things that people want to hear about, and we're going to lean into business and relationships today.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 2 women. You'll introduce them in just a second, but we have some intros. I won't even try to like explain them without
They're
it.
both like drastically different, but also similar in certain aspects. And I think that's kind of what this podcast is all about. Just like me and you, like we highlight each other's differences, and it's going to be really cool to see. So
they're like their business elevated to the same level, but in completely different areas.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have Yana and Emerson. I'll introduce Yana quick. So Yana is 100% Armenian, living in the U.S. since she was 4 years old. She's a proud yet not pushy vegan. I'll attest to that.
I love that.
Who is passionate about health and wellness. Yana loves to travel both domestic and international, lives an active lifestyle, whether it's fitness classes, hiking, or strutting around North Loop with her mini sheepadoodle.
Ooh, cute.
Professionally, Yana is an enterprise sales executive at Workday and has been in software sales for the past 7 years.
God, she's badass. All right, now there is Emerson Hannon, who is our second guest, who will pop in here. And we'd just like to introduce her. She was a former Villanova cheerleader with a master's degree in electrical engineering and grew her side gig to a full-time 6-figure influencer brand, Classy Clean Chic. She shares how to style, elevate chic outfits, videos of her adorable Shavapu Coco?
The name,
Cavachoo?
the dog's name is Coco.
Oh, yeah. I was going to read it as one name.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh. And it is an open book when it comes to friendships, tips to feel confident in a bikini, the Minneapolis dating scene as a sober 31-year-old. And we are so excited to introduce you, the brains, the beauty behind Classy Clean Chic. Okay. So those are our two guests. They're amazing human beings. They have so much insight. They're both in their 30s. It's a different perspective. They're in the dating scene in Minneapolis.
Both single.
Both single.
Yep.
Both have like dated recently too. So they've got a ton of insights, but I won't even try to explain anything more because you just have to listen.
Let's bring these boss bitches in.
Let's go.
Ooh, baby.
We're back with the boss bitches. We've been gone
bitches.
for so long. Just kidding. We were literally just in your ear.
But it took us a good 20, 30 minutes. Hi, guys.
Hey.
We were just joking about, we're like, damn, this is a room full of some hot ass women,
You better
baby.
check your Spotify video out or go on YouTube or something because holy spicy.
You guys look really good today.
Honestly,
really good.
thank you.
Wait, tell everybody who you are just because I don't think people know the difference in voices.
And also what you're wearing right now. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Emerson from Classy Clean Chic. I'm wearing an all white option number outfit.
Oh, did you do it? Do a little video before and have people pick?
I haven't posted it at this moment, but probably when this
Airs.
podcast is, it'll be
yeah.
up there on TikTok. You can see me getting ready in this white and cream outfit
It
number.
has a tassel jacket. So cute.
She
Yes.
walks in, I'm
shimmy,
like,
shimmy, shimmy.
Shimmy.
she showed
babe.
me up. I'm like, okay, yep. I'm like in my little mom sweater. All
Well, you
right.
asked what I was going to wear, and my job is fashion blogger. So I
Yep.
feel like I had to, do something cute.
Hell
right?
yeah.
They're going to be video
Exactly.
here.
Yana, what
Yana?
you got on? I like your fit. This is my vibe.
I am
This
not
is-
a fashion
yeah.
blogger, so I did not feel compelled to look as cute. I'm going for more of like a business casual look.
You look chic as
Local
hell.
authority sweatshirt, Brandy Melville sweatpants. And this is actually thrifted by my sister.
You look bomb.
Little oversized
It's
action.
cute.
Your
You look
sister's
chic.
getting into fashion too, isn't she?
She's getting into the styling thing. She has really good eye for it.
She
What's her
also
Instagram?
styled my
Ratty
outfit.
Dolo. She did. Emerson stylist
Oh,
at
that's
Ratty
right.
Dolo.
Yeah. Yes.
Ayo,
Yeah. So
we
she
got
got
you,
she
Ram.
held this outfit. She got it all. She's fabulous.
Amazing.
So just so people can get a face to the name, sometimes people like to know Instagram handles before so they can creep on you and then when they listen. So what's your Instagram, Yana?
Yana Dolo.
And Emerson is Classy Clean Chic. And chic, CHIC, not chick.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I think I did read it as Classy Clean Chick at first. And I was like, oh, cool. Then she's like chic. I'm like, oh.
No, bitch, it's chic.
Everyone was like, who's Classy Clean Chick? Sorry, I just elbowed you. I'm like a little in your space. You guys, before we start, just to like, we're just getting into it, who you are and what we're doing here. Would you guys have Straight Candid moments that you prepped?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You ready? Or you want to go
Yeah,
first? You want to
yeah.
go first?
We already shared ours and believe
Okay.
us, we completely just exposed ourselves. So
Okay.
if you're nervous to
perfect.
share, don't worry. Like we've already shit our pants. We've already blew snot into masks. We've done it all. So
We've had the whole thing.
don't
like skid
hold-
marks.
don't
everything.
hold back.
Okay.
I mean, I'm perfect, so I don't do anything gross.
Oh,
like,
I
I'm
mean,
not-
duh.
Whatever.
Just kidding. Just
Emerson,
kidding.
what do you got for us?
Okay, so I thought of one for this weekend. So I went to brunch on Saturday, and I was with a girlfriend. We went to sit down like at the bar, and then there was this like super cute guy over on the other table, and so it looked like he was smiling at me. So I of course like waved and was like ha 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 ha. And then we sit down, and I like turned to my girlfriend and was like, oh yeah, I think like that guy over there, do you know who that is? Because I think he like smiled and waved at me. And she's like, yeah, Emerson, like I know who he is. I think he was probably waving at me. So
Oh, God.
fucking awesome. And then I realized why he looked familiar is because he was like supposedly dating Michelle from The Bachelor. And that's why, because I like looked up his profile. And so I'm like, so don't let it get you if you accidentally stalk someone on Instagram and then you think you know him in real life.
Oh my God. So that's why you thought you knew him. That's why you waved. So you're like,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know your parents. Oh wait, shit. I just saw a photo. Never mind.
That's definitely a moment that humbles you for sure. You're like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Or you literally, they remember you and you don't remember them. They're like, we talked at the Loop. And you're like, we did, didn't we? And what did I tell you? Because I don't remember, and I apologize.
I still have that happen, and I don't drink.
I know.
So I don't know how. I don't know. It's when people are like in a different spot. I don't know. I get confused.
I get it. The mask too also throws off, and a beanie. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yana, what do you got?
Mine's like awkwardly similar, but kind of a role reversal. So I think we can all agree like one of the more awkward things in life is when you wave at someone or approach someone that you think is someone and it's not them.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this happened to me. It was in LA just this past week, walking on the sidewalk, see this guy across the street, think it's someone that I had just recently met. So I said his name and the guy's like, oh no, I think you're thinking of someone else. I thought it was the same guy. I was convinced it was still him. I was like, oh, he's just messing with me. I start to cross the street to go and like say hi.
You're like, he's being an asshole. I got to go up to him.
Just joking around, like start saying something about his outfit and it wasn't that guy. So good looking dude. In that moment, I was like, all right, there's a car. I'm going to go step in front of it.
You're like, I'm getting in the car.
And I would like to think I'm kind of like smooth with guys. And no, in that moment, that proved me completely wrong.
This was not one of those moments.
Yeah.
We don't
feel good.
We
You're
need
like,
to be
okay.
together, so we're not failing.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what, Yana? I will say you are smooth with guys. It was just a one-off situation.
I went for it.
This is different.
You went for it. It was different. We're gonna get all into how smooth you are. We're gonna need some tips and tricks later.
Sometimes we need to be humbled. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
needed that. Yeah.
Also,
Just kidding.
before we really, really jump in, thanks for humbling everyone. We appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
Before we really jump in, so how me and Syd were sitting here, we're like, wait, how do we all know each other? Like, where did this start? And how do we meet?
I think I remember, but I'm not going to answer.
I think it was Barry's initially. You worked for E3 Fit part-time, kind of. Maybe
I never worked for
there was
E3.
no affiliation there.
Look at the eyebrow
like
raise.
a
That's
little
how you
bit,
know.
like
Yes, I did. I had a one meeting with Drew.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not responsible for their social media. Got it. Okay.
No.
So I think I remember like your name and like hearing about you and then taking your classes are my favorite.
Yeah.
So I think
thanks,
maybe
babe.
that was how. And then we all did altar.
Yep.
Emerson and I always do the Tuesday altar. And then
I met Sydney through one of our other girlfriends, Al,
Lauren,
and I
right?
remember, and you had cool pants on, and we were at Smack Shack, and I was like, and then that's what I remember, and then we went to altar and worked out with you, and then
you came to my class.
yes, and then we were walking. I think that was the first time I actually saw Sophie.
Oh, yep.
Or something, and then I was like, "Oh, she seems nice."
I
We
had it
talked a
wrong.
little bit, and then I saw her at workout, and then we just, I don't know, and then we fell in love.
And now our group
I had
chat
it very wrong.
Now our group chat pops the fuck
We
off.
pop off. We send screenshots.
Watch out, boys.
I thought we literally.
Twins game.
Yes.
We
okay.
met at the Twins
We
game.
met at the Twins
Yeah.
game. I also thought we were brought together by a certain someone that will never be named once ever again. Do you remember who this person is?
Oh yeah, the fact that me and
remember?
Yana are Eskimo sisters.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about Eskimo sisters later too,
Later on.
because Felicia
She had a question.
joined our live for a little bit in the intro.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are gonna love it. She
Oh,
has
God.
some questions for you too.
Oh my God.
She's
Perfect.
like, let's ask them. And then she goes, I'll text it to you just in case.
Can't
She's
wait.
like, what if it's too like cray cray?
We're gonna put you on the spot. Just kidding. We would never, you guys.
You would.
We
and
would.
you will.
Okay. So you're both boss bitches. You are.
That's
like it's going to be like the title. It's basically why you're here. Like you both teach us so much, not only about relationships, but also about work. Right. And you both have more conventional like semi-unconventional jobs, but are killing it in your area because you took a leap and took a risk. Right. So we want to dive into like your guys' work and Yana first of what the heck was the turning point in your career? Because you started in something else, correct?
Oh yeah.
And now you're in something completely different and you're climbing up a freaking man-led area, to be totally frank, right?
Fair.
And you're making differences, right?
I'm trying.
So
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you bring us back to where did you start real quick and where are you now?
Yeah. So I will take it back briefly to college because I was pre-med in college. I did a child psych major, Spanish minor. That was just kind of the path that my parents wanted for me. Like our family was in that, field, the medical field. I got toward the end of it as far as, studying for the MCATs to like go to medical school. And I realized that's just not my passion. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be buried in books for 8 years. only to have gratification down the road. I'm a very present person. I want to be happy with what I'm doing. So I nixed that idea, disappointed the parents, not so much anymore. Thank you, mom and dad. And so, yeah, I started nannying out of college because I didn't know what I wanted to do. My major was so specific to going, into medical school.
Oh, yeah, because that was your degree.
Right, exactly. So then I got into, marketing. I did marketing for Crave restaurants, did their social media, and also worked part-time for the Minnesota Wild for like 4 years, doing game nights, events, promotions.
I had no idea about any of this.
I had no idea you worked for the Wild too. What the heck?
Yeah, it was really part-time. It was fun, like super into sports at that point. And then, did the marketing gig for Crave just to get into the whole, corporate feel of things.
I was stuck under Sophie's arm. Did you do it? Did you choose marketing because you weren't really sure?
Yeah.
It was just like the first thing that popped in your head?
Well,
I
actually just started networking with people that I knew. So there was this gentleman, Zach Sussman, still friends with him today. He went to my high school and he just basically got me in, helped me get the job and went from there.
Is it who you know or what you know?
I think it's who. A lot of it. I think if you're, we talked about this when you were looking at sales potentially. I think it's all about networking, tapping into your relationships, talking to people, understanding what drives them, what excites them, why they do what they're doing, and then see if you can get inspired that way.
I also really like that you shared that you were nannying out of college because I remember when I was out of college, it's like, oh my God, no idea what I'm doing. I should have it all figured out. And we do have a lot of college listeners. So the fact that you are where you are now and like out of college, you went from nannying to marketing to working with a Crave restaurant. And now what are you doing? Give us the
So I'm in sales. I've been in sales for the last 7 years. And actually the only reason I think I got into this world, I'll never forget this. I was at Lifetime Fitness. I was working out. 2 of my guy friends were there who at that time were working at Code 42. It's another software company in Minneapolis. And they were like, Yana, you would kill it in software sales. There aren't enough women. Like your personality is perfect for it. You should really look into this. There's this networking event coming up. Our, company uses this company called Concur. We have a friend that works there. There's this networking event. You should go. So I listened to my friends. I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not go and like listen and learn about something that could be cool? Maybe I'll just be good at it. Went to the networking event, mingled with, everyone that was there. And then the next day they called me and they're like, we'd like to offer you a job.
That's so badass.
And I thought it was a scam. I had never heard of this company. I didn't really do any research on it. And I thought, I'm like, who would just hire someone based on a quick networking event? Anyway, got in, started at the bottom within that company. It was like a sales development role where you essentially cold call for sales reps. And I remember during my interview, the hiring director, she was like, you're going to hate this job. Like it's cold calling, it's grunt work. You're not going to like it. She was trying to kind of sell me out of it. And I was like, listen, I'm going to do whatever it takes. Like I want to be in sales. I'm going to do it. I'm going to smile through it. Like, let's go. I want in.
I love that.
Oh yes. I just got goosebumps.
I know, I did too.
It was such, I'll never forget it because it was such a magical time. Like that company, I near and dear to my heart. Still friends with so many Concur people. If you're listening, love you all, my Concur fam. And then 3 months in, we would have all these, contests like dialing, quotas, whatever. And I'm very competitive. I was even more competitive back then. So I was like winning all these contests and like always on the phones, like doing whatever. And one of the managers was like, Yana, like you need to go talk to the VP. Like you need to be in a sales role like now. And I was like, I've been here 3 months. Like, I don't know what you're I don't know anyone. She's
doubting yourself, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Cause I was like, I don't know. I haven't been in like this actual corporate environment. I have no idea. So I went and knocked on his door, Frank Rader, one of the first people I met actually at that networking event. And I was like, hey, I really want to be in sales. Here's what my, results have been so far. He's like, okay, like slow down. Let's see like some consistency first. Like, thanks for coming to, share interest. And I think that's step one, right? Like showing initiative and that you're interested in something before going after it.
And also showing that you're confident.
Yeah.
Because you walked in there, you're like, I think I would kill it in this role.
Yeah.
By the way.
3 months in, like fake it till you make it, whatever it takes, right? So started networking with a lot of the directors, try to build my brand. And I think that's something that's so important when you started a company, right? You want to build your brand. You want to have a good reputation. You want to be known for something. So I'm friendly, personable. I started talking to a lot of people. I started telling all of the directors how interested I was in a sales position and why I think I'd be good at it, asking them what do they look for in a candidate on their team. So by the time they had openings, like 4 months later, they came to me.
Boom.
Yeah, because they already knew that you were interested. You already made the networking thing. You're like making yourself known in the company. People know what you're up to.
Yeah.
Because you have to be the advocate for yourself.
Exactly.
No one knows what you're doing day to day.
Right.
Because they're not paying attention to what you're doing. They're paying attention to what they're doing in their day to day.
Right.
So if you don't tell people, then how the heck are they supposed to know?
Yeah. And I believed in myself, right? And like, how can someone else believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? I know it sounds cheesy, but it's worked for me. And another thing that I wanted to make sure I made a point of was like, hey, you guys made the right decision in hiring me. So I grinded, I worked my ass off. And that first year in sales, I remember I made my parents so proud. I was rep of the year and rookie of the year. So I outsold like everyone in like across the country in that segment.
Can I ask, this is kind of irrelevant, but what were you selling?
So expense report software, essentially travel expense and AP invoice automation.
Okay.
Yeah, to small businesses. So it was our small.
Jesus.
It was, I'll never forget it. Like I remember going on stage and getting these awards.
That's
and I
so
just
cool.
remember being like, I'm so excited to be making my parents proud.
Yeah.
We're immigrants. You know, it's a big thing.
You had a reason to be doing what you were doing. And that's like what gave you that extra push to go to the next level. That's what elevated you and made you, you know, theoretically better than the people that you were working with, like side by side, right? And then they were looking up to you and how to get there. But if you would have had self-doubt going in, do you think you'd be where you are right now?
I think probably. I think where your mind goes, your energy flows. So I was adamant. Like I would have Post-it notes with my quota. And every time I would close a deal, I would, you know, scratch that number off and put the new number. I was so like zoned in on it. Like I would visualize it all the time. And I'm a big believer in manifestation and the law of attraction. So it helped. It helped a lot. And I remember that feeling so well and how proud I felt. And from there, you gain more confidence, right? You achieve something and you constantly continue to build that confidence in yourself. So you go and tackle the next thing and the next thing. And
how did you continue to push yourself in the confidence? Like know that I am right for that next job. Like I am who they should hire.
Yeah.
Instead of like, cause we catch ourselves, even myself sometimes like self-doubting, like, I don't know if I'm qualified for that role. I'm scared shitless of it.
Yeah.
Like,
so that happened to me with like the next level up. So I was selling to small businesses. The next segment was mid-sized companies. And there was an opening on the Chicago team. And I remember one of my favorite cities and my friends were encouraging me to go for it, people on that team. And I was like, I don't think I'm ready. This was more of an inside sales role. Moving to this mid-market segment was outside sales. So you're meeting with people in person, you're meeting with, you know, prospective customers. You have to have a lot of this stuff memorized. You're not just sitting behind your PowerPoint sharing your screen, right? You have to be compelling in person. So I was super, super nervous, even like thinking about it. I was super nervous to tell my current director and that VP that I want to go to another segment. So I applied for it. And I remember going to talk to the VP and he was like, Yana, he's like, your reputation precedes you. Like, honestly, if you want the job, it's yours. You don't even have to interview. Like, if you want it, we've seen what you've accomplished. We know what your brand is like. We've seen your results. If you want it, it's yours. And that gave me even more confidence. I'm like, okay, if they believe in me, like that means I need to go for it.
Definitely.
But it was a really scary transition.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, like having a job like that out of college and the drive is so rare these days, especially like our age group. Like I had a job where I was on the phones. I hated my life. Like I couldn't see past that first step. It was corporate. I was like, I can't see past it. So I think you sharing this is really important for people knowing that first little job out of college it might be a little bit of grunt work and it's going to be work. It's going to be hard. It might be uncomfortable. And if you are in the corporate world and that's something you're interested in and climbing the ladder, like this is so helpful because, there's so many college listeners. So great.
So many.
One thing I want to touch on, we can keep going to business chat, but you did mention that your families, that you immigrated here. I want to hear a little bit more about that and your experience and your family.
So quick, I guess, backstory. In 1991, we immigrated from Armenia. Me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. I was 4, she was 2. And ironically enough, they were my age. So I'm 34 and they were my age coming to a new country.
Wow.
2 little girls, didn't really know the language, had to start essentially completely over. My mom was a nurse back in Armenia and none of those records transferred over, right? So like, I'm talking like we were sponsored by a Lutheran church in Grand Forks, North Dakota, where it freezing cold. You think we're cold now. It was crazy. And you know what, though? We didn't know any different. We had such a loving childhood. We didn't know that we were completely poor. Like we were refugees. We lived in someone's basement for the first year that we were in Grand Forks and we were sponsored by this church. And I think that's where I got a lot of like my drive and my work ethic. And that's my why. Like I want my parents to be so proud in the sacrifices that they made. Like they uprooted their life to give us a better one. And they started all the way from the bottom. My dad rode his bike to work. He worked at this place, Italian Moon, as like a cook. And he would ride his bike in the snow to work. My mom started over as a nurse's aide, went back to school, like got her bachelor's, got her master's. And then for fun, like 5 years ago, she got her PhD in nursing. She's like, oh, I want to just keep learning.
For fun.
So like no reason,
God.
like she didn't need to do it. She's a nurse practitioner, but she wanted to continue that education. And I think that's something that's been instilled in us, you know, at such a young age. Like you do the work and you work your way up and you do whatever it takes. And they're definitely my why as to why I keep, staying as driven as I am and wanting to continue to make them proud.
I could hear
God,
that
that's powerful.
when you were sharing your story about making your parents proud. So
Yeah.
I feel like it had something to do with your childhood, which is why I wanted
Like,
to
could you
ask.
imagine like going to another
No.
country right now and like not knowing the
Insane.
language, having no money? I mean, they're completely inspirational. It was amazing.
Explains a lot about you, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
it explains your
It's the
drive. It
hair.
explains your
Yeah,
why.
yeah, right?
She also has gorgeous hair.
Oh my God,
She's
thank
known
you.
for her hair. She's just got this full
It's my
head of hair.
identity.
I'm
It's
so
You and a
jealous.
personality is your hair right
really
there.
is,
Literally,
isn't it? Yeah.
It matches like
Yeah.
to the T. It's like this loud, luscious,
Unruly.
like locks. No, just loud and beautiful.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Thanks for sharing that too,
Yeah,
because
of
that's
course.
intimate and that's
Yeah,
that is.
thank you.
It's hard to like say
Anytime.
those things, but that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm proud of you. I have a question too, because you talk about your drive and all the things you just like go. You're a total go-getter, even outside of work too. Have you, or can you look back and think about like a different time when you almost lost your drive, or like you had doubted you and what you were going for?
Oh my God.
And
I have
what was the transition?
perfect story for this, actually.
Love
yes. So once I got that mid-market job that I was telling you about in sales, about a year after that, I remember we got a new director. Wasn't probably the most fit for that job at the time. And we had this team that kind of turned toxic, right? There was a lot of negativity, and I'm a big person of my environment. I like to be uplifting and uplift others and be around people that are that same way. So we had this pretty toxic environment at work, constant negativity. And I remember for 6 months straight, I didn't hit my number. And that was so unnatural for me, because usually I was going after it. I was doing what it took. 6 months straight while this person was our director, while we were, surrounded by this environment, didn't hit my number. I was in the red. And finally, we did something about it. We went to our senior leadership. We talked about this. Essentially, that person stepped down from that position. From then on, for 6 months straight, the rest of the year, hit my number, overachieved. I think finished number 1 in our central region and 5 in the country in that segment. So I remember feeling so down those 6 months. It was actually pretty dark, because you're constantly surrounded by people that are upset about the same thing. And I remember going to one of the senior director's office, Kyle Wenzel, again, thank you, I'll never forget this. And I remember talking to him about it, right? You have to talk to people about these things. If you're feeling a certain way, like bring it up, put it out there. And I remember he told me, he was like, Yana, like I would hire you on my team immediately. He's like, I don't care what your performance has been like the last 6 months. Like I know who you are, what your potential is. Like, don't let this get you down. It's not just about your numbers. And I remember that conversation kind of turned it around for me. It gave me kind of that belief in myself again, because 6 months in a row, that's a long time to not be at the level that you're used to being.
Well, plus then you don't get your commission checks. Like that's what happens when you don't hit your number in a commission driven job.
Right.
Now you're not making the money that you thought you were making. Now you feel like you're like, not to put words in your mouth, but you feel like you're failing.
Yeah.
Because you know your potential and you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone says, sales, they have the ebbs and flows. And they were telling me this for, years. And I was like, no, I'm going to keep this is going to be great. I'm not going to have a ebb or whatever. And I did. And it was honestly, such a great experience. And it just goes to show it's so important, who you surround yourself with, the kind of conversations that you're having, and just being able to communicate. If you're not feeling a certain way, talk to someone about it, let them help, lift your spirits.
And I bet you help people that feel that same way
I
now
try
too.
to.
You're like, yo, I've been there. It's good.
Because usually I don't get down. I'm usually pretty happy, upbeat, and
for sure.
it was a different time.
Yeah.
Deep,
for
dark
those
place.
6 months. Yeah.
Damn.
So I love this business chat, but just to keep things moving, I think we should move on from your
Relationships?
badass boss bitch
Thank you.
corporate
You
ladder.
are.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
I learned
seriously,
from Yana, by
though.
the way, all the time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we've networked and
Likewise.
Yeah, just amazing.
I know. I was like, I need help with budgeting money. Yana's like, here, I have some ideas. I'm like, okay, sick. Awesome.
I love finances.
We actually are having
love
someone
numbers.
come on soon to chat finances
Awesome.
in
Straight up.
and I think we thought of you obviously,
So important,
you'll love to listen to that one too.
I
But
like it.
Can't wait.
relationship wise, because Syd asked about business advice from you, which I have as well. But
Yeah.
I also love chatting with you about dating because you just always, I think it's the confidence for one. But you always seem to say the right thing. Whenever I have questions, I'm like, what do I do about this? Yana's like, oh, I'm a bad at this is how I would do
You're
it.
like, no, you're not going to do this. You're
Yeah.
going to do this because you know you're a badass.
Yeah. And
snap.
so I guess right now, how's the dating scene for you?
So I'm single.
Okay.
Okay. And by choice. Let's make
Yes.
that very clear.
Yes, yes.
See?
I saw this thing on
God, I love that
TikTok
shit.
the other day.
Yeah.
I thought of you and me.
Okay.
So it said something like, and Emerson actually, and Felicia, and Syd. But Syd, you're
I know, I'm
dating
like,
someone.
oh.
Well, you're not you're in a relationship. But it said,
Oh, whatever.
a girl that can pull any guy she wants. A guy who made this video too. So it goes, to the girls who can pull any guy they want, but they still don't have a boyfriend, ha ha, or something like that. And this girl commented and she goes, it's because I'm picky, dude.
Exactly.
And
Selective.
it had like thousands of likes.
I
What?
love that. Yeah. Yep. And
Like-
I think that's it. It speaks to that, right? Like you have to be selective. I think I'm at a point, and I have been for a while, where I know what I'm about. I know what I have to offer. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And so I am. I'm selective. I'm picky. I have a certain level of expectations.
Yep.
Because of how much I value myself
Yes.
and my time. Like I love spending time with myself. I genuinely love myself. I do. I'm proud of who I am. So I think for someone to come into my life, and if I'm going to make a commitment to somebody, they're kind of competing with that in a way.
Yeah. To fight for your time.
Yeah.
Kind of in a
right.
way.
Or like my time with my friends, my dog, my family.
Yeah.
All these things are really important to me. So
You have to be worth it.
yeah, anyone can ask you on a date. You can go on five dates a week, but that's exhausting.
It is.
Is that going to be fulfilling? No. I spend my time with the things that fulfill me.
Yes. Emerson, what about you? Are you single?
I am also single and ready to mingle.
Yes.
Ooh, we got a snap from her.
Would you
too.
would you also say single by choice?
Yes, also single by choice. I think I was actually talking to my mom about this. It's so many people ask, like, why are you single? All of that. And I think I would rather be single than in the wrong relationship. And I think so many times people are afraid of getting out of that wrong relationship of being single. And I'm such a better person single than I was in all those past relationships. And it's like, it's almost like you can see it. So like if I start gaining weight or not working out or not being as good in my job and things, that's a bad relationship. So we should just be getting out of it now. So can't wait to meet the guy that makes me better than I am now because I'm fabulous.
Hell
Yes.
Wait, do you guys like that people ask that? Do people ask you that too?
Oh yeah. Like, why are you single? I'm like, why
People
are you
people ask
unhappy?
me that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
All the
so
time.
I don't like that question.
I
That's a
think-
weird
well,
question.
I think it's fine. So I think it's your opportunity to really explain, like, hey, I don't think the end all be all is being in a relationship, right? Like, we see how many failed marriages there are, how many failed relationships, people who are actually not as happy in their relationships, and all the stuff that goes down behind the scenes that's not on Instagram. Like, I'm good. I'm going to take my time, and I take my time with a lot of things. And
no need to rush.
Yeah.
Take your time.
like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. And if people ask you that, I like to just say, I mean, if you know anyone eligible, send them my way. These are my requirements. Let me know and we'll try it out.
What are the requirements?
Yeah, I got to hear
Here we
this.
go.
I mean,
Here
I
we
have,
go.
a
Give
lot,
a list.
I have a lot of requirements, but I've boiled it down to my top two, which is having ambition, and then the second one is liberal.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that you narrowed it down to two
I like
because
that.
yeah, I have I literally have a big list. I'm like, okay, I've been single for so long. I gotta like cut some of these off.
No, I
know,
think
she
you
had
can
one.
still have all of them, but those are just the
Okay.
when somebody asks me, I mean, we're not going to be 87 item list. They're
Yeah.
going to be snoozing on
Sid
the floor.
knows parts of those.
I had one that I was like, okay. I'm like, she told me other things and she's like, but this probably won't work because of this. And I was like,
I just went
like,
on a date with a guy.
can I say? I didn't
Yeah.
want to say
No, you
because I
can
just
say it.
wanted
I
to be
don't
like respectful.
I
Yeah.
told him
And
too.
you were like, well, this is amazing. He's so amazing in so many ways. I mean, he's like tall, dark, and handsome, whatever.
Yana
And
will
then-
love this one.
And then
Yeah.
she goes, but he's vegan. So like, I don't think we'll like hit the
I'll take him.
same food. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to be eating the same thing. And I really care about food and I really care about like sharing meals. I'm sitting there and I go, okay, so I go, that's okay. You know,
I know,
And
but I
she
said-
knew it was okay.
but I said, and yeah, okay, rewind. But requirements, what about your type? And then I'm going to ask you.
Okay, wait, my requirements just
I know your requirements, but
Okay.
what about like, do you have a type of guy?
oh,
I don't feel like I have a type. I think I've dated all different tall, short, guys that work out more, guys that don't, blonde hair, brunette.
Oh, I know
All
one.
different
I
types.
saw one of your types in Whole Foods.
what do you mean?
Whenever my mom says I can't always look for looks, I'm like, Mom, did you not see some of my ex-boyfriends? Were your eyes closed?
No,
Wait,
we were just in
what?
Whole Foods the other day, and she goes, "Oh my God, that's my ex," and I was like, "Where?" Like he was like right in
Wait,
front of
what?
me. I just could not picture Emerson with this man. Like,
really? Did it just not
it
the
was-
same vibe?
no, he was like old, like old.
I mean, he's my same age.
Oh.
You wouldn't. It's okay.
Okay.
He just seems.
Oh, no.
He's a nice personality. We're just not a
Yes.
match, and he'll be happier with somebody
yes.
that's not
Agree,
me.
agree.
There you go. Okay, so not really. You don't have a type, really.
I would say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Do you date younger, older, or your age exactly?
Anything. I'll
Anything,
take it
okay?
all.
Okay.
22 to 44.
It's a wide range. Is that what your
Interesting
hinge
number
is set
choice.
at?
No, I haven't been on Hinge and no.
Are you in a dating app?
No.
Okay.
No dating apps. I like meeting men in the wild. It's less stressful for me. It's been more successful for me. Most of 2021 was just in the wild. I did the Hinge all 2022. Probably went on 25 dates.
Oh my God.
Yes, lots of dates. And
Wow.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
It sounds exhausting. Like you were using your time for that. And then you were like, okay, this isn't working. I'm going to go back to reverting to doing what I want to do. And then when I meet him in the wild, I meet him in the wild. Yeah.
It's less stressful on me. And for some people that works. My sister met her now husband on Hinge. So for some people it works. But just know that about yourself. If it's working for you, then keep doing it. That's great. Fabulous. But if it's not, like for me, I'm much more happier now.
Good for you.
Yana, do you have requirements?
I wouldn't say requirements. I think for me, it's important to, well, we'll get to that.
I was going to say,
for me, I think it's most important with how I'm feeling with that person. If they make me feel how I want to feel, definitely they have to be witty. Like you have to keep my brain stimulated. Yes. We got to have some banter. It has to be fun. I like tall guys. Typically
6'3"
light hair, light eyes. 6'2" would be ideal.
Is that why you laughed, Emerson? You're like, bullshit, you don't have requirements, Yana.
Forward, 6'3" and above.
6'2". But yes, fitness forward. I love being active. I like people that are athletic, that are into health and wellness, right? So
yes,
I think
you got to give her a little shit.
Yeah, for sure. No, I say it all the time. Like that's my 6'2", light hair, light eyes, athletic.
Oh, baby.
Not an athlete, but like athletic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please no.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
But definitely like have some like intellect where you can be witty and, quick on your feet. Cause that's going to keep me interested a lot more than like your face. Definitely. Honestly.
I think the banter is so important.
Yeah.
Like
if
you don't have the banter, it doesn't work.
Make me laugh. Like I don't.
And give me shit because I'll give you shit.
Yeah.
But in like a fun way.
Yeah.
You know?
Completely.
Right?
Exactly.
What's the biggest thing you guys have learned most recently about dating that you're like, I'm going to take that with me. And that's like my most recent learning about like who I saw last. Do you have something that comes to mind?
Yes. I would say if you are confused, it's not right. If you are confused about why isn't he texting me? Why isn't he doing this? Why is this not happening? Why did he say this? Then it's not right. You shouldn't be confused. You shouldn't be not sure if they like you. If they like you, they will show you. They will tell you.
Known.
Period. Yep. I agree.
That's a great piece
I love
of advice.
that.
I think we shared that a couple episodes ago. It was.
We did. I remember.
It was if you're confused, he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
And it's the goddamn truth.
The delay in messages, Yana.
I agree. I think it's like an actions over words thing, right? Mm-hmm. They'll show you. I think it's pretty simple, right? Dating men, like to me, I think it's so easy. Like take the pressure off, manage your expectations, and just like see what happens. I don't see the need to rush anything ever. Like I take my sweet ass time.
I do.
So we're a little different in that, and that's okay, right? Whatever works for different people, but can
we go into that? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, I think it's actually good too. Yana and we are a little bit different in relationships, and it's nice actually hearing her side of the story or kind of talking through things. I am a serial jumping into a relationship girl, so started dating a guy, literally move all my stuff in, and we're like the next week, like she never left. We went on one date and she never left, or they came and moved to my house. So I think. But then when I do that, then I end up losing myself. So I think trying to find a happy medium of what's moving quick enough and moving the relationship forward, but then also not losing yourself and still having your friends and doing your workouts you like and continue to kill it at your job and all of that.
You got to still be you. Can I ask you a question? Because I know about a previous person that you've dated. You had lived with somebody already, right?
Yes.
And you had been in like a very serious relationship, as in you're living with somebody, and you're no longer in that right now because you're obviously single. Like something that a listener could hear right now, maybe they're feeling stuck and they're in a relationship that looks like that. Maybe they've been together for 3, 5, 10 years, who knows? And they want out, but they can't just do it because their lives are so merged. What would you say to that person? Yeah.
So I had an ex-boyfriend. We were together for 2.5 years. We moved in after 6 months, and it was just kind of, I was 29 at the time, and it was just kind of, okay, are we going to get married or should I get off the pot? And so I think in starting to ask those questions, and I just kind of realized I wasn't excited to marry him. I wasn't excited to move forward. And I think it's scary starting all the way over. Like I had this person that I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life at one point, and then just say, okay, well, what if I'm not? I'm going to be just fine. I'm still going to be okay. The sun's still going to come up tomorrow. I'm going to figure it out. And so just because you're nervous right now, if it's not right and you're questioning and you're not excited, and just stop now, just get out now. And I was fine. I was fabulous. Dropped 15 pounds after. It was great. So
The glow up.
yes.
Yes, hunty.
And I think so many women have a timeline, and that's why it gets dangerous. And I'm like, freeze your eggs. Stop thinking of the timeline.
But it's hard.
Agreed.
I get it. Emerson's raising her eyebrow.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's one area that I don't feel, the need to push anything for, because I'm indifferent, right? Like whatever happens, happens. Again, end all be all isn't marriage and kids. Like that might be for some people, great. For me, I'm very present moment. As long as I'm happy, feel healthy, like that's what matters to me. So I think that's also an important thing to consider, right? Like if you're not going to be the best version of yourself, right, you have to work on that. You have to be the right version of yourself before you attract the right person. So I never rush into those things. Like I want to see people in a lot of different environments. How do they react under stress in a surprising situation? How are they one-on-one? How are they with my friends? How are they with my family before actually committing to that, right?
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of options.
There's a million people out there.
That's
There's
a beautiful
that-
thing about dating. You just kind of weed through
7
it
billion.
and yeah,
There's no scarcity of men.
Oh, I saw that on
FYI.
your story the other day. I was like, I laughed pretty hard.
I whenever I feel sad, I watch it. Maybe I'll post it when we post this. We can post that to
Yes.
But Yana, I really like that point because I
I do
think
too.
we've talked about like how confidence can attract the right people. And I think knowing that you're happy with who you are as yourself, like if marriage and kids happens, great. Like you'd be ready. You might meet the right person. You're not closing it off, but you're also not making sure that's going to happen in your life and try to force things. And I think that open mind is kind of what attracts like
I
these
agree.
men to you, because like, yeah, like guys are like obsessed. They're like, Yana, like, let's go. Like, it's almost like game on. Let's see if I can get her to marry me and have children.
Yeah,
Like,
it kind of feels, I'm not kidding.
But-
I'm like, oh my God. Yep.
but yeah, like that's honestly how it works, because knowing that you are that content in yourself and like you'd be happy alone, I think that plays a huge, huge role in,
And it makes you feel badass too, because you're like, I don't need anybody. I'm me and I'm happy and I'm content. I'm doing my shit. I can support myself. You both can support yourself. No fucking problem. You don't need that as a piece of somebody. Like you can continue on as you are. What were you going to say?
Yeah,
Emerson?
but and if you do want that too, so I 100% want to have kids and I want to get married, but
Absolutely.
I think, I'm kind of just, you know what, if it happens, when it happens, it'll be the right time to
Yes.
happen, and worrying about it isn't going to make it come any quicker. And I'm just going to live my life and be happy with my friends. And I think even if you do want that, it's hard to disassociate. I feel like I
Thanks for adding
struggled
that.
for a while with that too, because I want to have kids. And so I think just live your life and enjoy this period before you get to the next period, and just know in your head that it's going to happen.
Because if you don't enjoy the present moment of the period that you're in, you will look back and regret the thoughts and the way that you lived your life. And I will say, I know a lot of people, even like, doesn't matter the age, I'm talking like 18 to like 44, who are like, I'm fearful of like either getting out of the relationship that I'm in or that I'm not going to find someone. And it's like, for what though? Like fear doesn't bring good things. Especially if you're a manifestor like I am, and like Yana is, and Emerson is, everybody in this room is. It's like fear doesn't bring on good things. It doesn't. It's not how it works. So when you have those like enlightening, like happy thoughts, you're gonna attract good people. You're gonna like look beautiful in other people's eyes. Like it truly is that way. So no, I'm thankful you guys are.
Wow,
so
that was deep.
Like your ability to
I
be
almost cried for a minute.
Oh, stop. Your ability to be so vulnerable with us
Yes.
is like so important, because people need to hear these
Yes.
things like about relationships and everything.
And I think the difference in perspectives is great.
Oh
So
my God,
thanks for
yeah.
adding
Yeah.
that, because I'm like, I'm a
Yan.
little bit more like in terms of Yana's side, where I'm like, I don't really like, I don't even know if I want kids, to be honest, at this point. Like, we'll see. It's just because I haven't met the right person. And I think you adding that, because a lot of listeners do, they want the kids.
Majority of my
Yep.
friends are closer in Emerson, like in your viewpoints. I would say I'm closer to you too, but it just depends. Like, cause my mom is more identical to Emerson. Like my dad, probably identical to Emerson. Me, I'm identical to you. Same with my
Yeah.
sister. It's like, it just depends, you know what I mean? And your vibe and whatever. But you guys are beautiful human beings. When the right time comes, it'll come, but they are going to be blessed. That's what people have to fucking remember. You're blessing the other person by being in their life. They're not blessing you and like coming down from the ceiling and like on a little cloud.
Sometimes I'll say my husband better be doing awesome things right now. He better be working great on himself. He better be working out this morning. because I am.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
And I think that's what makes like a healthy relationship, right? It's two individual, independent people who are trying to be the best versions of themselves that can help the other person be better, right? Like I want someone that's going to bring me up. I want someone that I can learn from that's going to lift me up. So I think until you have that, like just chill. It'll come.
It'll come. Don't
What's
rush
the
it.
rush? Like we're 20s, 30s. Like you have until probably like 90 years old, especially if you're vegan, maybe 100. You know?
Get in there.
So like take your time. Take your time.
I love that.
I
Have
absolutely
fun.
love that.
Yeah. Enjoy every phase of life. Single,
know.
dating, relationship, engaged, marriage, whatever. Just enjoy it.
I love that. God.
And easier said than done, obviously.
Totally.
Of
We're all
course.
going to have the lows, but do your
Of
best
course.
to enjoy the journey. It's not all about the destination.
It's not all about it.
So cheesy. All right.
Okay, wait, about dating.
Dating.
Felicia.
Felicia.
Asked
Oh.
us to ask a question, and I remember it.
You do?
I
we
do.
do I not need to pull it up?
Well, I think there was two, but I remember one.
I feel like we just got to read it word for word.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh,
She goes, ask if they're Eskimo sisters and ask if they've ever dated a dude from work.
Ooh.
So we'll start with Eskimo sisters.
No. You
No.
and I?
Are you?
No.
I don't even think, have we even made out with someone that's the same?
No.
Well, what the hell? Why was she
But she
setting
has,
up for that?
She has tried to set me up with her exes before.
I have.
So that, yeah.
Yana's tried to set you up with
I mean,
her
I
exes?
do that.
I
am
do that
actually,
too.
I am friends with pretty much all of my exes, and like any guy I've had like a history with or a fling with, like we're still on really good terms because I view it rationally. Like we can still like each other as people. The romance might not be there, but like I'm friends
like-
with literally all of them.
You're like,
So
I'm
it's
not
well.
into you, so you can take
Yeah,
my
go
girl.
for
Yeah,
it.
like there's like imagine if we were like off limits to every guy. You know what I mean? Like it's impossible.
We just talked about that.
Especially,
Yeah.
literally girl code 101. But also
Yeah.
we're in Minneapolis. Like
It's
you're
small.
going to cross paths
Yeah.
and you just kind of have to be not even okay with it. You just kind of are like, well, that's Minneapolis for you. It's
Yeah.
a small dating community, you know, generally speaking. And you're going to have to mate out with somebody's, you know, brother or ex-boyfriend or maybe dad. I don't know.
and that's
But
fine.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah. If somebody doesn't work for somebody, might work for somebody else. It was Will.
Oh yeah, I did. You're right.
Yeah,
Just
you
drops
did.
the name.
I know it drops the
Yeah.
name. Let us know. if you wanna
Whatever.
be-
Yeah.
Hey, Will.
Hey,
And then
Willie.
second question. Have you dated somebody from work?
Yeah. That was like one of my rules that like
She
when
made us.
when I was at Concur for the longest time, I was like, I'm not dabbling in anything like that. I value my brand, I value my reputation, whatever. And after actually my breakup a couple years ago, I was like on the rebound, you're just looking to have some fun, whatever.
Also, like a work date, a work hookup, work lover
Yeah,
is hot.
I know, and it was,
I've done it.
but I was
too.
I know
so
it's
like
hot when your eyebrow
hesitant
goes up.
at first, you know, because like it's just too close for comfort. And
Yeah.
like for me, like if I'm dating or if I'm single, like my options are open, right? And I don't ever want to like hurt someone or, you know, be seen with someone else. And that kind of ended up happening. But I'm always really
Oh.
transparent and like
Yeah.
very honest about where my headspace is at, like where I'm at, what I'm looking for. Like if I'm just looking to date, not have like too much of an emotional connection. But no, I did end up kind of, like seeing someone from work who ended up sitting right across from me.
Oh, good.
You know who you are if you're listening. Hey.
Hey, how you
but
doing?
we're still cool. You know what I mean? Like it was not good timing, like whatever it was, but it was kind of hot.
That is kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like hook up at maybe you don't have to answer this, but if you hooked up at work at some point, oh, spicy mama.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, your knee went in my side.
Okay. So
Emerson.
I have two. I did it twice. I just remembered the second one. The first one was when I was at Stryker, and everyone there though dated everyone from work. So I think I was 24. This guy was like 31.
Woo, baby.
Oh, wait, that sounds parallel to Jordan and I. It's scary.
Yeah, yeah. And so we started dating, boyfriend, girlfriend. Like I met his parents, and it was like 6 or 7 months, and then we broke up, and we still had to work together. It was fabulous.
Oh, my
Every day,
gosh.
the day after that breakup, that Monday. Oh,
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are
Did you have any spicy moments at work?
I mean, when we were still together, or I mean, both. Oh, well, not like we didn't hook up at work
Okay.
at all, but like
Oh,
there was.
come on.
It was. I mean, it was fun having like meetings when we
Yeah.
were both there, and it's like, hey, what's up?
Hey, I love you.
I'm gonna add some spice to this podcast and share a quick story. So I dated not dated, just
I
like
know this one.
just like a hangout. When I used to work, I'm not even gonna say what corporate job it was, but there was a meditation room, and we would like text. We'd be like, "Let's go meditate at 2 p.m." And then it was like for one person, you could lock the door, and it was like a meditation room. So we're like, "Okay, time to meditate," and we'd both go in at separate times, lock the door.
Do your
Oh
thing.
my God. That's so risky. I'd be
Yeah.
freaking pooping
Oh yeah,
my pants.
but at that point, I was also like, I know I was already going to like go full-time fitness and do stuff. So I was like, let's risk it, baby.
You're like, nothing holding me back.
Fun little, yeah.
Oh, when we were at the bar this weekend, didn't someone get kicked out of the bar because they were banging in the bathroom?
Yes.
No way.
Not anybody we knew, but like,
We knew them.
I didn't know them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Apparently they are. in our
Okay, wait,
circle.
what bar did y'all go to?
Hewing?
Hewing Hotel.
Why wasn't I invited?
You were invited.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Okay,
They were.
we'll make sure you are next time.
Hopefully.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
I think
never
she
mind.
had something.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad it wasn't the loop bathroom. So
Yeah,
thank
props.
God. Oh,
yeah.
Lots
jeez.
happen in the Loops bathroom.
Oh, at the Loop this weekend. This was my other Straight Candid moment. I just remembered it. Can I say this really
Yeah.
quick? I'm in there with my sister. Take my sister to the Loop for the first time. She's like, come on, let's go. I'm like, okay. We go there. You know, I'm like being big sister bear. And then all of a sudden we're in the bathroom together because obviously we can't go to the bathroom alone. And someone throws a bottle over the stall. And I was like, and it hits my sister in the arm and she gets like a bruise. It's like she immediately was like, ow, my arm. I'm like, oh. And I literally, it's 2 stalls. I literally go, you did not just throw a fucking bottle over the stall. I was about to burn the bathroom to the ground. I literally had to calm myself in the stall and I literally opened the door. I'm like, you don't throw bottles. You don't throw shit. I'm like, don't ever do that again. You're lucky I'm not like 7 more drinks in. Otherwise I would literally have ripped the stall down and attacked. I'm dead serious. I'm not, you touch my sister. Oh, honey bunches. Oh, it's you are going down. In the
With you
DMs.
on that one.
Ooh.
Can relate big time.
Oh, I got to throw my hair back. Ooh. Okay, I had one more question for you guys because this will transition perfectly into Emerson and what she does. Have men been intimidated by your work? And I'll start with Yana and then we'll go to you because then I'll be talking about your stuff.
I mean, I would hope not the guys that I attract because I don't think I'd want to attract someone that would be intimidated by that. I've been told that that's maybe the case in certain circumstances. So maybe, but I would like to attract someone that I think is also their own independent, successful self. I don't find it very masculine.
No.
If you're going to
so
be
it's not
intimidated by
someone-
like a woman's job or anyone, really.
Insecurity in general.
Yeah, I wouldn't attract that kind of guy. Not for me.
Yeah, because you didn't even get to that point with them. That's what.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, totally fair. Emerson, hello. Hi.
Yeah, so I feel like it definitely people are insecure about, and nervous about dating me based on my job. I think that was one of the points of contention with my ex, actually. He was, when someone's insecure and not very confident, taking a picture of someone out in a public place and having your every stories filmed throughout your day is difficult and intimidating. And so I think that's one of the things that now that I really look for is that confidence. But on that same token, I have kind of had the opposite problem now where a lot of guys just want to be with me to say that they're with me, or like the idea of being with a fashion blogger, or, even I had a guy was talking about when we like announced that we're like together and like posting together because one of his exes like follows me and then I had another one who was Snapchatting pictures of like my bedroom and stuff and saying like, oh, look, I'm at Emerson's and
What?
yes. So I, and I'm not even that like cool, like, come on. So anyway,
creepy.
I think it's funny though, back to the guys are intimidated with you sharing your life. And then you're like, well, actually, then they realize that you're making 6 figures with what you've been doing. And they're like, oh, wait a second. Like you can make money from this. So I guess kind of how did you get into this whole blogging situation? And were you always doing this? Like give us your career path.
A little background.
Yeah. So I started, I would say my sister had a idea to do, she wanted to do an Instagram. It was Fab Fit Fun. It wasn't because that's a brand, but something like that with 3 Fs. And so I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to copy that and also do it. So In Comes Classy Clean Chic was the name that I made up. That was 2014. And so I was posting food and fitness type pictures. And then I would get a boyfriend, not post for 6 months or something. And then fast forward, I moved to Minneapolis in 2017. And my mom had actually started doing an Instagram too, empty nest style.
Oh,
so she was
cute.
So she was posting her pictures and stuff. And so then I kind of started doing more fashion selfies. It was mirror selfies, really lame. Didn't know what I was doing. So then I had stopped drinking. 2018 rolls around. And I saw my mom was starting to make money. And I was like, that's cool. I want to get free stuff and make some money. So I started trying to get free clothing and things like that. And then I was thinking, well, maybe if I try this blogging thing, maybe those girls don't drink. Maybe they could be my friends. And so then I launched my blog it was 2018, got accepted to Like to Know It in June. And then it just kind of started going off from there, I think.
This past June?
No.
Oh,
2018.
okay. I was like, wait, you would do that.
2018. Okay. And so when I started that, I would say I had about 10K from posting the lame outfit selfies in mid 2018. 2019, I grew to like a little bit over 100,000 followers at that year. And then I made more blogging than my engineering job. So I was also doing my engineering and blogging at the same time. So that was 2019. And so then that's when I decided, okay, well, obviously I'm making a lot. I'm going to quit.
Wow.
So beginning of 2020, I went full time with my fashion blog. And yeah, and 2020 was just like a fabulous year. I know it was difficult for some people, but I grew a lot that year. I went from, I think it was like 100,000 followers to like 400 at the end of the year. So
what was it like having an engineering job?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
With your blogging, because it was a side hustle. And I always encourage people to have a little side hustle. Me and Syd are all for that. Like have a little hobby side hustle. And you're someone that actually proved that like, I'm going to take this side hustle full time. So what was it like doing the two at the same time? Stressful?
No sleep.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. It was.
How'd you do it?
Finding other time to do it. So I would wake up early. I used to walk on the treadmill and that was my workout, and I would answer DMs or post my Instagram post. I used to post 2 Instagram posts a day when I was working.
You're crazy.
Me?
No.
I was wasted.
No, me either.
Yeah. So, you just really have to love it. And you're not making any money when you start when I was in 2018, I'm barely making anything. You make like $3 and you're like, yippee, on one top or something. And yeah, so and then weekends, I would take like 5 pictures on the weekends or something with my tripod, because I was just taking them all myself. And yeah, just trying to find time and as much as you can, and just flying by the seat of your pants. I did
literally. You had no time.
No,
you were grinding because you believed something was going to work. Your engineering job, really quick. You were doing some sort of engineering because that's what you went to school for, right? And then you just decided, yep, okay, doing this full time. I'm done. This is not my career path. That the other one is actually where I want to go and do my thing.
Yeah, and so I think I always liked math and science as a kid, and so then I went into engineering. My dad was an engineer, and then I was a post-market quality engineer at Stryker, a medical device company, when I was in Kalamazoo. Moved here. That's why I moved to Minneapolis, was Medtronic. I was a supervisor. We made mechanical heart valves. So I liked that job. I just found something I loved way more, which is doing whatever I want to do every day of my life.
Why do you think you could do that? Like, why is it that you could take your side hustle to full time when other people think that's like totally like, there's no way I could do that. I could not do that. What would you tell them?
I think a lot of times people want to have it all perfect before they start. I'm nervous to start my Instagram. I'm nervous to start a blog because it's not just so. And it's like, just start it. If you're not embarrassed what you're doing in 6 months with what you were doing 6 months ago, you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not getting any better. So I think people are just nervous to not get it perfect, and you're not going to get it perfect. You don't know what you're doing. Like, I change what I'm doing every week.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like Syd and I. Like, we did not want to start this podcast ever. Like, we kept pushing it back because it wasn't perfect. We didn't know. We still listened to our episodes. We're like, wow, we should have said this, should have said that. Like, it sucks listening back. I bet, like, oh, it's just horrible. But anyways, yeah, you have to start before it's perfect. And I like that piece of advice a lot.
Yeah, you can only get better. And I'm still learning every day. And the game of Instagram and TikTok and all of that changes so much. Every year is so different, and you have to reinvent yourself and be interesting and look at your numbers. And this is mirror selfies was working, and now it's not. And now I have to look like I'm not looking at the camera. Before I was smiling at the camera, and it's just always growing and changing of what you need to be doing.
God, I could not imagine doing what you do. I'm like, seriously, it's like, because social media, I know, I think I could, but social media doesn't make me happy. So it's like, I just can't find that time to do it. You know what I mean? I'm like, but it's so impressive too, because it's like, you took something that people do for fun every day and like showcase their their, you know, like best life, and you took it and made it your full-time gig. But I think the coolest thing about you and what you do, and Soph and I were talking about this, is when you even do like stories on, you know, like a live story, whatever, you don't really use a lot of filters. Like you're actually like your real authentic self. You're not pretending like you got this body from taking a gummy bear every single day. If you don't know what I'm adding, then you should look up. But
I know what
yeah,
you're doing.
like just you're real.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's scary doing that. I think it was 2019. I just decided no more filters, and you know, this is what I look like. And then people say, "Oh, you got a zit on your face." Okay, thank you, Captain Obvious. Like
I have.
I hate people. Oh, geez.
I ate a chip yesterday, and now I have a zit on my face. I know.
How has it affected your mental health at all? And is that one reason why you've stopped using the filters? Like, I just want a little more background of like how you made it healthy for you.
I mean, I think again, it's kind of that growing and changing. I mean, I did. So in 2020, I went back and lost like 20 pounds. So before that, I would use the like skinny apps and make yourself look different. And I think I never want to do that again. It's not showing your authentic self. And if you want to look different, then make yourself look different in real life. And I think, and if not, that's fine too. So I think that's one of the things that was kind of difficult. And then, I mean, you just I treat it much more like a business than it's a personal attack on me.
Yeah.
You know, these people don't know me. They think they know me, or saying something mean, or, you know, whatever. I'm confident in who I am, and that's not going to, you know, affect me. And I think you just have to take it more as like a business. And this is the Classy Clean Chic brand. And yes, I'm a person, but what kind of pictures are they liking, and what pictures are they not liking? And it has nothing to do with me. It's just what's happening right now. Why did they like this reel, or they didn't like this reel? Nothing to do with me. It's just how I put it out there. So kind of thinking of it in that lens, I think helps a lot too.
I like that.
Yeah. You can turn it as like a business instead of your personal page, and like take everything offensively. Like, oh my God, they didn't like what I said there. They didn't like what I was wearing or what I was doing.
And I think
it's just like the time.
I think that's why it's easier for me and you when we post our Straight Candid stuff too, because we get TikTok trolls all the time.
Oh my God.
People say some mean shit on TikTok, but knowing that I have Syd with me too, I'm like, oh, they're not making an attack at me only. It's me and Syd. It's our brand. So you being by yourself, like I feel like I would be affected a little bit more, but I like that you're saying like, no, they're talking to the brand, not me. So that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
I think we'll have to do that with our TikTok trolls
and
too.
you like them talking.
I know the truth.
Yeah.
You should
we
like
do.
them talking,
More-
good or bad. When I got
Exactly.
my gomies, get off my internet, that in 2020, I got my own page, and I was so happy. They were just shit talking me.
Yeah.
talking about,
That's what?
Yeah,
It's a page. You got to tell me what this is. I've never heard
so
of
it's
this.
Get Off My Internet, and they just have different fashion bloggers and people that are famous and stuff, and they have their own pages and things like that, and they just bash them. So they were telling me about
Who in their right mind would do this?
but I was excited. I had made it. I was excited. I had made it. They made a page to shit talk me. Yeah. I was so excited.
You are so positive. Like sometimes you say these things and I'm like, holy shit. You really truly have like grown your mindset so much as an individual and a human. It's actually admirable. And you might not see that every day, but it's like you have haters. Like it's like
both
holy
of
crap.
both of you two. Like
Yeah.
I love when I hang out with you guys, because if my energy is like low and you both are just so positive people, it's just like amazing.
I just have to say this while we're sitting here and while we're talking about this. Surround yourself with the people you want to be like, and surround yourself with the people that make you better. And that's exactly why we're sitting in this room together, because when we met these people, we were like, oh my God, come closer. Stay close to me. I'm like, I want to be like you. I want to be like you.
Oh,
I
so
need
sweet.
to surround myself with people that make me better. And that's what you guys are. So I said to add that because we were talking about it.
I have one question for Emerson.
Yeah,
quick.
I do. Okay. Yeah.
So have you guys heard
wait,
of it's a podcast. It's called Trading Secrets, and they just get real about finances and real about like what actually bloggers make. And like, I feel like a lot of times people are like, how does this work? Like, is this actually possible? So could you maybe give us an example of like how you work with brands, and like maybe do you send a media kit? Like, do you have a rates for a certain post? Like, how much do you get? Like, if you're comfortable sharing this, like how much would you get paid for like a post with maybe some tea that you drink or something?
Yeah. And I mean,
You can get as detailed as you
yeah,
want, but
and I also want to point this out too. Just to kind of show starting from nothing, I forgot to add this earlier. But when I moved to Minneapolis, I literally had $0 in my bank account because I have a shopping problem. And so to get my stipend for work, I had to borrow $5,000 from my mom because I was going to get that later, but I had to borrow it in order to put my last month's rent down. So so I started from that, and then I was like, I'm going to save, and then continued to kind of like build this with my fashion blog and got better about saving. And so it's just crazy you can go from that to like this. And so I guess 2019, I made 6 figures on my blogging job alone, and then continued. I more than doubled that the next year, and then made more again this past year as well. So you can kind of, without saying the exact numbers, I think just to give you kind of a range, I remember I got my first blog. It was iGogs. I think they're here in Minneapolis, and I was so excited. And they paid me $300, and I felt like I was robbing them. I was like, these people are paying me to do what?
So impressive, though.
To write a blog or to share a post?
It was a blog. It happened to be a blog.
So was most of your money come from blogs versus Instagram posts? No. Okay.
So that was just my first one. And then now, as far as like, how do I make money? So I will make commission on sales through Like to Know It. Okay. And so that's a shopping app. And so that's something that you can kind of continually to accrue and grow. I would say it really depends. But I mean, at this point, I think I make like 10 or 12,000 like a month, or to 15. It really ranges, but I would say over 10. Just to give you a kind of a range. And
that's just from people buying on this specific app through the clothes that you've posted, correct? Through a link. Okay.
Correct. No wonder why you post the Like to Know It stuff on your story all the time. Okay, I get it now.
Yes.
And I would too. You posted, and I did it once, and I got like an Amazon person, and they bought I got $1.16, but you can't make that dollar until you make 100. So
yes.
I have a little bit more to do.
I love that.
It does take a lot to build the Like to Know It. Mm-hmm. And then brands will pay me to do either a TikTok or an Instagram post or Instagram stories. Okay. And it just kind of depends. So, I mean, they say if you have 10,000 followers, it should be about $100 for an Instagram post.
Okay.
So that's kind of what the conversion is. And it can be up and down based on your engagement or whatever. I have a manager now that manages all my collaborations. So she kind of sets my rates and is pitching to brands and those types of things for me on my behalf.
This is so interesting.
It is. It's like the insides of like what goes on. You know what I mean? We don't see all that shit. Really quick, I have like one more question about your current role, and then I have a random question that just I think needs to be brought up. So
okay, perfect.
The one more question about your role is there's a ton of influencers out there. Why do you think that? Or how do you stay different from those individuals? Or you know what I mean? Like relevant. Yeah. I'm like, why are you different?
So one of the main reasons that I am different is because obviously I'm 31 and single. Most bloggers are married with children at 24. But I think that's one of the things that makes me definitely a lot different is I'm still single doing my own thing. And then also there's not as many bloggers out here in Minneapolis and doing the cold weather outfits and how to be chic in the cold weather. I think that's what makes me different. But it also is every day trying to reinvent myself and I got to be interesting. Yeah. How do I be interesting today?
Oh God.
She's like boring.
No, you're what?
Absolutely
no,
you're not.
The loudest individual, like most fun, lively person. I like was explaining to Marcus. I'm like, she's loud and she's lively. And he's like
bubbly
and bubbly. And we're like using all these like big words. You know, you're
Spicy,
a beautiful human being.
Exuberant.
You mentioned this and then I'm done asking my question. Sorry. Cause I'm just like totally a question master right now. What's that? That's from a game, isn't it? That like Question Master. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
A board game.
Yeah, it's a board game, right? You mentioned that you are sober. You don't drink anymore.
Correct.
Can you tell us why and how you maintain that, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no, totally. So it was 2017. I decided that drinking wasn't doing me any favors. And so I just decided to kind of cut cold turkey. No more drinking. I mean, nothing. I couldn't think of anything great that came from it. And when I would drink, I would just overdrink every time. And it was in social settings, social situations. And so I've been sober for this March, it'll be 5 years.
Wow.
So it's been a hot minute. And I think the other thing too, with people with saying alcoholics, I mean, I would say that like I am an alcoholic and people think that means that you need to wake up and have a drink. And I think there's differing levels of it, you know? I don't, or even maybe I'm using alcohol right now because I'm sad. And then I'm bringing out this type of personality of myself that I don't like. And so maybe I don't need to be doing that right now. So I think people just have this preconceived idea that I got to wake up and have a beer. And that's not always how it is.
Yeah, I love that. And thank you for sharing that. I know that's like, it's personal, but I just think it was really important to bring it up too, because that's a part of your identity, and maybe you don't share it like openly all the time on each other, but you do sometimes.
Yeah. No,
You'll be like, look I got my
I'm very
iced
open.
tea, you know what I mean? So,
I think to only be fair, that's part of your identity. Yana, share why you're vegan.
Ooh, yeah.
Great question.
Good call.
I'll keep it brief. It actually does stem back to my mom. Probably like 15 years ago, she was diagnosed with cancer. It went away. You know, she did the chemo radiation, went away for 10 years. It was in remission. Then it came back. So at that point, she's like, I'm not doing chemo again. Like, it almost killed me. Like, there has to be something else. So she started looking more into like the holistic, you know, diet, nutrition side of things. And then my sister and I just kind of supported her from there. And we started to learn more about, you know, the different impacts of, and, you know, animal products, for example. So we eliminated meat at that point. And then for me, it was like a progressive journey. So I was still eating fish, for example, and then slowly got rid of that, got rid of the eggs, got rid of the dairy. And then after I got my dog about 2.5 years ago, then my eyes completely opened to like the animal cruelty side of things, which I didn't really know much about. There's definitely a dissociation between, you know, what's actually going on and what you're seeing like perfectly wrapped at Whole Foods on the shelf. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So learning more about that. And a lot of people just maybe don't know, and that's fine. And I don't
or
judge.
purposely remain ignorant.
Yes. I mean, there's the
I'm
dissociation.
the same way. I'm the same way.
And that's fine, right? Everyone's on their own journey. I don't judge anyone for what they eat or how they eat or what they choose to do, but it's worked for me. And the more I learned about it and the more I actually, you know, implemented it, I started to feel even more amazing, and my energy levels are great, and it works for me. So I'm passionate about it. I love it. But yeah, the dog definitely opened my eyes. I'm like, I see her in every cow and every pig, like every animal. And I was never like an animal person growing up. So
I remember Emerson had a similar experience.
Yeah, 100% of the time you get a dog, you become either a vegan or a vegetarian. Because I'm vegetarian, I just looked at my dog one morning and was like, look at those eyes. It's kind of like a cow. No more meat.
Oh my God, really?
Yes. Yes, just
I don't
woke
look
up
my
one
animals
morning.
in the eyes. I'm like, don't look at me.
I look at
me.
oh my
I just had a
God.
burger. I'm like, I can't. Don't look at me.
I'm not even gonna share. I was gonna say, sometimes I look at dogs, I'm like, that's a meaty leg.
Oh my God, you don't. I'm so
Sorry.
scared.
I'm
so scared.
stay away from my dog.
Meat has been really grossing me out lately, and we won't even dive into it. But I'm just saying, I'm starting to get that where like I can't even. Yeah, okay. I'm getting the ick.
I got the ick.
Own journeys, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
On journeys, just so everyone knows, I love meat, eat meat, still healthy. But
I do love burgers. I won't lie, I had a burger.
Vegans
like,
still love me.
Yes, we do.
Ma'am,
Okay.
before you read that,
Yeah, I think we gotta. Oh yeah.
I gotta tell you something.
What do you gotta tell me?
You guys are here for it now too. Cheers to the new year and making new resolutions that you can keep. Have you added your self-care routine? Our sponsors at Manscaped have the perfect tools to keep you and your significant other clean and tidy this year. Manscaped tools for his jewels are also good for you, and you'll want them for yourself. The Lawnmower 4.0 is all you need for his balls and your bikini line. Ow! Set your first New Year's resolution with his good intentions and join the 4 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. So go to manscaped.com and use the code CANDID20 for 20% off plus free shipping.
I'm ready for a new year, new me with the best in below and waist grooming. This year, take your routine to the next level with the Performance Package 4.0 and brand new ultra premium body wash.
Our favorite thing to say about these is the weed whacker.
Yeah, I was trying to find one with
I
the
know
weed
I couldn't find it
whacker.
either, and I'm like, oh, should we say it together?
Where's the weed whacker?
Manscaped started doing women's products now, so we're all excited because they also have chapstick and body wash and shampoo and conditioner. And I was like, okay, here we go, Axe. You know what I mean? It like reminded me of that. But then we got them, and Jordan smells like a dime. So
I'll also say sometimes I would always steal, like when I go to when I go to Target, I buy male shavers because I feel like it gets closer when I'm trying to shave the pubes.
Oh yeah.
So now that they're marketing towards women, I'm like, this makes so much sense because
why were we using like the hand manual ones even for like our armpits, and they get to use an electrical?
Well, no, like even like, you know what I mean?
Like why? It's
well,
still
I think
hair.
it's all marketing. Right?
It
like
is,
the
though.
pink, cute little Venus razors. I'm like, that's not going to cut it.
It doesn't.
And it legit doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or
Unintended.
it cuts more than what you need. You know what I mean? Yeah, I made that mistake when I was in Arizona, so forget it. Anyway, get 20% off and plus free shipping with the code CANDID20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code CANDID20. New year, no pubes in 2022 with Manscaped, or pubes if you want them. Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes we want a little pubes.
Yeah, if you want a little, something.
All
Have
right.
a little bush under the tree. Who cares?
We are going to quick share a listener straight candid moment. Someone wrote this in and we do this every week. So let's get into it. I'm trying to find it. Okay. So she writes in and she says, thank you for the honest combos that help me learn, laugh, and grow every week. On that note, I have a candid moment that I would like to share with y'all. My boyfriend went home for a few weeks to stay with my family, and I wanted to send him a cute little snail mail letter in the meantime. I decided to do something a little spicy. She spelled it with like 5 O's or 5 I's and send a few explicit Polaroid photos. Not only that, I added a chocolate Hershey's Kiss. Get it? Because kiss. Without thinking that it's 70 degrees where he is and chocolate melts. Long story short, it's been 2 weeks and the letter is still not there. I'm convinced that either the chocolate melted and they threw it away or someone confiscated my photos. And moral of the story is that I will never do anything scandalous ever again. If anyone listening, someone received photos of me in the mail, you're welcome and enjoy.
Oh my God.
She goes, stay blessed. So like she sent naked Polaroid photos in the mail and the Hershey's melted. So the mail people just probably
threw it away. Or did she ever think that maybe the parents of the person she was sending it to, since he was at home, may have gotten it and opened it and been like, oh my God, I opened this. I'm going to pretend like I never opened it. I'm going to throw it away.
I wanted to share this one because it reminds me of you taking a Polaroid of your ass cheeks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And she took a naked Polaroid of her booty. And she was going to give it to Jordan. She put it in the cookie jar.
To be funny.
And all of a sudden she had like a housewarming party and someone opened up the cookie jar.
And they pulled it out and they're like, there's a butt cheek. There's a photo of a butt cheek in the cookie jar. And I was like,
so it's like, huh? What's that?
I go, oh my God, what? Oh my God. And they like went in my room and people were like, oh, no way. I'm like, never mind.
Too good.
Doesn't matter. I have to say I have a friend who took naked pictures, like sexy time photos, and was giving it to her boyfriend for Valentine's Day. And he lived in this complex out of state for like work training or whatever. Sent him, and it was she was more mad. This is the moral of the story. She was more mad about how much the Polaroids cost because they're expensive. But she sent like 20 and sent it to the mailbox, and he couldn't open his mailbox. And then he opened his mailbox and it wasn't there.
Oh God.
So the only other person that can open the mailbox is the landlord.
Mm.
And the landlord is nowhere to be found and has no idea what he's talking about. And that's just such BS. So I think I know what happened.
I have a question for you all. Do you take your own nudes or do you have your friends take your nudes? And do you not take nudes?
That's for in real life only.
All right.
Ladies, always crop your head out. Number one.
Ooh.
Number two, I do them yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you know your angles.
Okay, yeah.
If and when you decide to send them.
Yep.
But crop the head out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends, right? Like, but probably.
Yep.
I would.
You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe like lips involved,
Yeah.
but like
Keep it kind of sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I
don't
usually
take
lips
many,
then.
but
Yeah.
if I do,
It's of the booty
It's
cheek.
of the
Yes.
booty cheek.
I mean,
Same. Yeah.
My ass
Can
is
I-
already all over Instagram. So
You can see what you want to see.
Okay. We're close to wrapping up, but
Yeah.
we have a
getting long. Sorry, y'all.
straight candid advice that somebody wrote in. And I'm going to read it because it's work related and we've been saving this one. So here we go. I work in a super male dominated field, engineering, and I struggle to find work friends unless I am okay in normalizing bad behavior. Sometimes bad jokes, sometimes degrading women, and sometimes just flat out wrong comments. I've gone to a few happy hours after work and it just gets worse, but even happens at work now that we're all just friends. I just don't know how to deal with it because even my bosses have some of the similar behavior like this. Then when do I correct them? Do I even at all? I just need some advice. I think it might be time for a new career path.
So she works with all dudes, is what she's saying. And
Yeah.
there's like bad jokes.
Bad behavior,
Yeah.
bad jokes.
I think you definitely need to try to say something if you can, and it makes it more difficult the longer you've kind of gone. But I feel uncomfortable when you say that. What do you mean by that? When you say that, what are you trying to insinuate that XYZ?
Yeah.
And just kind of spell it out for them and put them out there on that. I mean, people say inappropriate and awkward things. Yeah. I also had a guy that I worked with that was supposed to be a mentor, and he basically like came on to me and said that his the wife would be okay with it. Like if we, yeah. And I was just like, okay, next time we're gonna have to be full conversations that are just straight, like not anything that's about family or anything like that.
Oh my God.
Yes. So
Terrible.
I think definitely. And I mean, if we don't say something now, it's just going to kind of continue. So
Yana?
I think it's important to have boundaries. Like I remember when I first started at my job, like I didn't go to the happy hours for a while because I wanted to like work on my brand and not have like this reputation. It's really easy to get comfortable with coworkers, right? Like we all become friends. So I've definitely been in that environment. I'm guilty though. Like I am kind of one of those people that just, free flows, whatever. I don't get really uncomfortable. So I just kind of go with it. But I think it definitely, if you are uncomfortable, it is important just to establish your boundaries or maybe don't surround yourself in those situations. But for me, I guess it's hard to speak to that because I'm friends with like all of my coworkers and we all kind of shoot the shit.
Yeah. But I think also you share your opinion. So like if someone were to say something that you disagreed with, you would say something.
Totally. You have to speak up in like any aspect of your life, right? So we're vocal.
Yeah. We're not keeping quiet.
Yeah.
No one in this room is.
But she's not alone. I mean, that happens in a lot of office settings and I know it can be uncomfortable, but speak up.
I've had weird work shit happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think instead of shifting the blame on them, I like how you put it, Emerson, like that makes me feel so, AKA they need to stop talking like that. Even if they're not trying to make you feel bad. It's the way they're making you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they might not know. People aren't mind readers.
No.
Right? Like,
and
we
if
have
they
no
haven't
idea.
been corrected before.
Yep.
I mean, they could have been strolling along for, 40 some or however many years without being corrected. So you might be the first person, then they might need to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, I love this.
I was going to say, lastly, something that brings them together is the fact that I like that you shared, I never mentioned this earlier, but you have a brand, even in a corporate world. And I like that you say you have a brand because obviously Emerson has a brand. And it's like two different ways that you both kind of situate yourselves in this world and make sure that you are proud of who you are. So I think that's awesome that you share that you have a brand as well. It's cool.
Important. Love that.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys, thank you for coming on here and like taking a whim with us and just like shooting the shit about work and relationships and who you are and why you're the way you are and your brands and all the above and like what makes you you. And we're like, our friendship is so valuable, but this is so valuable for our listeners in so many freaking ways. Like there's so many things I just took away from that I'm like, I know you guys and I already am like learning still just sitting here.
It's crazy because there's probably someone who can find themselves in Emerson or Yana with this conversation. So that was extremely helpful for everyone. So
thanks, you guys.
Flattered you guys. Thank you.
Will you
very
shout out your handles again real quick so people can do it?
At Yana Dolo, YANADOLO.
Ooh.
How classy, clean, chic, 3 different C's. Well, actually 4 C's. I'm classy, clean, chic on Instagram, TikTok, my blog, Facebook, if anyone's there, Pinterest.
Oh, baby. Pinterest. Forget about that one sometimes.
YouTube.
Also,
above.
Also, Yana was scared about her voice earlier. I'm like, your voice is really sexy in the mic.
I sound like a smoker and a phone sex operator, but thank you.
Yes. Oh my God.
I do not do any of those things for the record. But
I'm into it. You should.
Yeah.
My masculine energy.
Like, us over here. Thank you for being here. We love you.
Love you, girls.
If you're looking for us at Straight Candid Podcast, you know where to find us. Go subscribe on YouTube. Don't be afraid. Click subscribe.
I'm at Candid Soph.
I'm at Candid Syd. Write us an Apple Podcast review. Thanks, Back Pocket. For production, Marcus in the house with his chain. Don't forget it.
Baby.
And we'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye.
Hey.
Ooh, baby.
Oh,
that was a hard one.
Yeah, it was. It felt good.
Well, why do you think both of us bitches talk so much?
I'm sweating. No, that's good.
Hot, right?
I was like trying to think of like.
Is it good?
Yeah. It was long, but then I was like, what would we even cut out? I don't want to cut anything because I feel like everything was so concise and like.
I know. I'm like really done.
My
Sweating,
hands
but
are-
like
I know.
I was like holding the mic. I'm like trying not to make noise.
I was hot and then cold.
I know. I'm like still
hot and then
scared.
Then you're cool.
Yes, trying to water.
Yeah.
I didn't know.